First up, I'm excited to welcome the Earthshot. So this is actually just announced last week. It was like under wraps and everything, but Earthshot finalist in the Shared Prosperity Pillar, which is supported by Mastercard Center for Inclusive Growth, Nick Hill of Coast 4C.
Thank you so much. Well, it's wonderful to be here. It's such an inspiring event, so thank you for having me. I've got 5 minutes, so I'm going to dive straight in. It's on my slide. Excellent. So we are all surrounded today by products that are unsustainable. They drive climate change and food, feed, fertilizers, and plastics. And it's the primary producers, particularly smallholders in the global south, that are disproportionately affected by this. And we've heard a bit about that today. So thanks to some amazing innovations and technologies that have been produced by companies around the world, for example, Nopler, a previous Earthshot Prize winner who took over Times Square the other day, you can actually use seaweed to create much more sustainable versions of this product, which is incredible. However, there isn't enough supply to really make a big dent on for all of those products that really make drive that change forwards. So that's where Coast 4C comes in. Now we partner with smallholder producers in Southeast Asia, initially the Philippines, and we partner with them to build a dependable supply of quality, responsible seaweed that can meet that emerging demand, and also that revives our oceans and builds prosperous and resilient coastal communities. Now, the amazing thing about these about seaweed is that smallholder producers produce the world's largest amount of seaweed, particularly in Southeast Asia. And the majority of them are women, and the majority of them are extremely poor. They're really at the bottom of the pyramid, and we've been hearing a lot about that today. So there's a fantastic opportunity to really drive growth through these communities that can benefit people and planet. By providing these technologies and services to these communities, then we can boost their production 6-fold. And one of the key ways that we do that, and one of the reasons I think we're on the podium for the Environmental Olympics and the Earthshot Prize, is by integrating it with marine protection. You actually need to have a safe, healthy space to produce seaweed. This is one of the biggest problems that seaweed farmers face. So we found and we pioneered an approach to integrate seaweed farming and empower coastal communities to integrate seaweed farming within larger, more effective community-based marine protected areas that drive up that protection towards 30% of coastal areas. Coastal areas are where the majority of value from the ocean comes for humanity, and it's where the majority of marine biodiversity arises. So it's a fantastic opportunity. Now I'm going to try and tie it back to what we're all discussing today. Farm financing and financial inclusion is super important. We actually use a model that CARE develops. We're speaking to somebody from CARE today, called Village Saving and Loan Associations, as our social infrastructure. And it's a fantastic opportunity to engage people at the bottom of the pyramid. But that's typically the only other source of finance that they have is from MFIs, microfinance institutions. And to service seaweed farming, it's either too small from VSLAs or it's too much. The size of the loans is too much from these MFIs. And because those MFIs don't have data to assess risks, they price it very high. So it's 60% or more. In the real world impact of that, which is something I see unfortunately on a regular basis, that drives prostitution. It creates the enabling conditions. It doesn't condone it, but for trafficking of humans, weapons, drugs. So there's a real vested interest for us all, I think, to create a more sound financial play. And that's the real cost of not having the data and not analyzing the data. So that's what we really need to do. And with some support from Transform and the Ocean Risk and Resilience Action Alliance, we've actually started to gather that data and put in place the systems to start collecting that data. However, the challenge for us now is how to integrate and automate those data. We're collecting it. You imagine it's hard enough with smallholder producers in a terrestrial environment. Now you add in the fact that they're distributed across the tens of thousands of islands in the Malay Archipelago. There's 7,000 islands in the Philippines. It's incredibly hard to reach all of those people. So we need to be able to integrate those data as efficiently as possible, process it in real time to drive up the efficiency of our team, so that they can decide where they need to prioritize their actions and get in there faster, and also to be able to feed back to farmers to help improve the production and outcomes that they have. So really I'd like to do a shout out today for support. We need partnership to drive this and achieve scale. The Earthshot Prize is all about scale. We haven't got the time. Obviously, there's an urgency to this. So we need to start moving this forward as fast as possible. I'm super excited with the Earthshot Prize and the opportunity to collaborate with the Mastercard Center for, what was it again? Center for Inclusive Growth. And it's going to be such an exciting journey. But I think we need all the clever people here who can work with us to figure out how we can scrape data from different sources, how we can use the data that we're collecting, integrate that, process it real time, and get it back out into the hands of people who can make a difference. Thank you very much.